Okay. Now next slide. Next slide is who? Next slide is who? Next slide is who? Telophase. Now, before we talk about this telophase, remember what I said about what? Early and what? Late. Early and what? Late. So, whenever they talk about, okay, what do you think that will happen in early anaphase? It's just an open question. Eh? Separate. What again? They are pushed towards. And they prepare to start what? Going what? Home. And the late is that. Thank you. That what? Home. Now, remember, let's move to, okay, let's use the diagram again. Telophase. Now, in the telophase, okay. Now, I think this one is better. Okay, let's look at what? Telophase. What is in telophase? They say that, Ndine see them. You know, it's normally this side, but they shifted to what? This side. Now, look at the what? Telophase. Telophase, just have this sense. It's just because of exam. That thing that happens in prophase, opposite happens in what? Telophase. Are we following? What happens in what? Prophase. That's the first stage of mitotic what? Division. It's opposite to what happens in what? It's opposite to what happens in what? Telophase. Are we there? Now, let's move. The nuclear membrane appears. Appear. Reform. Do you understand? Nuclear membrane disappears at which stage? At what? Prophase. You must take note. The nuclear membrane disappears at what? Prophase, but reappears at what? Reappears as what? Thank you. The nucleolus, the nucleoli, disappears at what? Disappears at what? But reappears at what? Reappears at what? Telophase. So, all those things, you know, have this sense. What is the reason why do we have cell division? Eh? Why do you have cell division? Growth. That's increase in what? So we have one, you understand? We increase in size and number. We have one person. That person will what? Divide. And we now have what? Two. And thank God they use mother and what? Daughter. So we have one daughter cell. After mitosis, we have what? Two what? Daughter cells. We have what? Two daughter cells. That means that why we need to have cell division is so that what? We have daughter what? Cell. New cells can be what? Formed. And remember, a new cell is being formed from a what? An old cell, and it must have features of the what? Old what? Cell. That means everything will still come back. Do you understand? Now, that's why before division, DNA is 1. But during division, DNA is what? 2. At what stage? At what stage will DNA become 2? That's the question. At what stage? Those at the back. At what stage will DNA become 2? At what? At what? At mention if it's interface. Mention that stage of the interface. Is that what? Is that what? S phase. Is that what? Is that what? S part of the what? Interface. Are we following? Because the cell wants to divide, right? So before it will divide, they want to produce If replication, you know what is replication? Replicate. You understand? A clone of something. So, if DNA replication does not occur, what happens is that one daughter cell will have DNA. You understand? The other one will not have any DNA. Does it make sense? No. So that's why this division occur. Now, look at this. During telophase, the nuclear membrane will appear. Now, what happens? Let me give it in a diagram. What happens is that, as you are seeing this thing is what? Anaphase bar. Now, and anaphase, what they want to do? They want to reach the what? Pole. They want to reach the what? Pole. They want to reach the what? Pole. Now, and when they will go, you notice that something like this will happen. And that thing that will happen is that you will now see the chromatid here, bah? And you come and see the what? Chromatid here. Are you getting the sense? So, this thing is division in these guys, you understand? Movement of this and movement of this, it is actually to what? Produce daughter what? Cells. It is actually to what? Produce daughter cells. And when they produce these daughter cells, what's happened? They say that what will appear? Nuclear what? Membrane will appear. What will appear? Nuclear membrane what? Appear. But don't forget that we have a central membrane that covers everything that happens here. Are you getting the point? It's just because we have a main membrane that this one is called what? Cell membrane. What we are doing since occurs in nucleus level. It's happening in what? Nuclear what? Level. So, but we still have cellular level that everything, you understand? So, what happens is that this one will come and there will be nuclear membrane that will cover this one. There will also be what? Nuclear membrane that will cover this one. Now, this thing will start forming a cell. It's in a cell, but it will start forming a cell. You understand? So, all those things in the nucleus before division will start coming back. Nucleus will now start what? Coming back. Are you getting it? So, when in that telophase, the nuclear those, that's why I said, once you know what happens in prophase, you will know what happens in what? Telophase. Because in prophase, all these things are disappearing. So that the process will take place. But that's in anaphase, everything will disappear. In prophase, everything will disappear for the process to take place. Now, in telophase, they will start coming back. You understand? Now, after this, okay, let's look at this. Okay, diagram again. The slide. Now, in telophase, an envelope surrounds each set of chromatids. What did I say? To form what? New nucleus. And cytoplasm start to what? Divide. You know, if this is nucleus, what is this? What is this? This is what? Cytoplasm. This is what? Cytoplasm. And this is what? Nucleus. So, the new nucleus begins to what? Form. Are we following? Now, let's move to the slide again. It's like people will love this slide. Lazy students. Lazy students. Now, look at this again. Let's look at the slide. So you'll be happy, right? So that the poor can what? So the poor can see what? So, can we pay attention? So, in telophase, the nuclear envelope comes back. Now, remember the aim is to form daughter what? Cell. Now, there is another. We have completed mitotic stages. So, mitotic stages is still what? PMAT. Is still what? PMAT. Which is what? Which is what? Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and what? Telophase. Telophase is a kind of the end of mitotic what? Division. Now, but you have another one we call what? Cytokinesis. Let's look at the slide again. Let's go to the slide again. Are you seeing it? Yes. Cytokinesis. Now, cytokinesis, it's not like a part. We have only 4 stages of what? Mitosis, right? Now, but cytokinesis is the last thing that kind of to wrap up the what? Cell what? Division. What is cyto? Cyto means cell now. When you hear cyte, cell, that means what? Cell. So that cytokinesis, talking about movement. Now, there will be a movement, a kind of. Now, remember, this is the cell membrane, right? This is cell membrane, right? Now, this cell membrane, there will be a pinch, like it will be as if it is compressing. Are you seeing something like this? You understand? They kind of be moving, trying to what? Compress. Are you seeing it this way? Now, this is what we call, is a mechanical force. The aim of this cytokinesis is to divide what? Cytoplasm. You know, this is a cytoplasm now. It wants to divide the cytoplasm so that there will be a separate cell membrane for this nucleus. You understand? And there will be another separate cell membrane for this what? Nucleus. Are we following? Are we following? I said the last one, like everything after telophase, we have what we call cytokinesis. Now, in telophase, what happens? The envelopes surround each word chromatid to form new nucleus, right? Yes. And the cytoplasm starts to what? Divide. So let's go to the slide again of telophase. You see a cleavage, a pinch that is trying to occur. Are you seeing it? Yes. So that's this thing here. You understand? They're trying to compress this. Yeah? So that you form a separate nuclear cell membrane for each word nucleus. So there will be a separate what? Cell membrane for what? Each nucleus. So you can be able to form daughter what? Cells. Now, we have cytokinesis takes place when the cytoplasm what? Divides. And 2 cells with identical genetic materials are what? Formed. So that is what we call what? Cytokinesis. That's what we call what? Cytokinesis. So can we see it? Can we appreciate that? So you see it. Cytokinesis have what? Occurred. You see? Now we are now having 2 what? Daughter what? Cell. And remember, there is still what? This is the aster. That's what we call what? Now when it's now like this, call it what? Centrioles. You call it what? Centriole. Do you understand? Call it what? Centriole. Now, are you seeing this one? Do you understand? So this is called what? Daughter what? Cell. Are we following? So that's what we want to. From one cell at the first initial time to what? Towards daughter cell. So the process of this thing, you understand? You know that this one again, this the daughter cells, one of it now automatically become a what? A mother what? Cell. It will start to, when it becomes old, it will increase in size. That's why it is called a cell what? Cycle. That's why it's called a what? A cell cycle. It will start from a point and come to another point, come to another point, come to another point. Now, looking at this, it's like a quick review. Place these cells in mitosis order. Don't stop, just place it in your heart. Don't talk. Place it in your heart. Some people are still talking. Akwata market women. So now, should I point? Media, get ready. You give somebody mic. You shift the camera to the person. And Chigibogi open in life ta. They'll be seeing you. So somebody will take mic now. And the person will do justice to this. So who wants to answer the question? Who wants to? Media, get ready. You even rotate you focus the camera to the person. The person must arrange this thing in the perfect mitosis order. Okay, Obi, do that now. Oh yeah, who wants to? Okay. Media, give her mic. No, the girl on black top. Stand up now, stand up. No, not she.
A is metaphase.
They said arrange,
okay.
Place cells in, like, arrange it.
Like, I don't, okay.
They don't say identify. You don't know how to arrange.
Okay.
C, B, D, E.
Okay. C, prophase. D, anaphase. Okay, wait. C, prophase. A, metaphase. D, anaphase. B, telophase. And E, cytokines.
Ha! Next person.
No. E is cytokines now.
E is what? Cytokines.
No.
Chineke.
It's
Cytokines.
cytokines.
Who can perfect it? Can we clap for her? She tried. Who can now perfect it? Who can? Alright. There's somebody at the back there. Give her the mic. Yes. Oh yeah. Can we hear her?
C is early prophase. E is late prophase. A is metaphase. D is anaphase. While B is telophase.
Can we clap for her? Now, what can we, let's look at this again. Now, what can we call this C? Now, this C looks like interphase, right? Yes. It looks like interphase, right? But the question said, mitosis what? Order. Mitosis what? Order. Interphase is in mitosis order. No. So interphase is not in what? Mitosis. Okay, let's look at E. E is what? It's prophase. B, A is what? At the equator. Now D is what? Anaphase. They are going home. Now, can you clap for yourself? Now look at this. They say that's C. I told you it looks like what? Interphase, right? Now, but when they are talking about, you should pay attention because the normally comes. When they're talking about mitosis, you understand? Mitotic division. It starts from what? Phase. So that interphase, she called it what? Early prophase. And you know that is still correct because interphase is what? Early prophase. That last interphase is what? Early prophase. And it ends with what? Telophase. Now, why do cells divide? Can we? Why do cells divide? The larger a cell becomes, the more it demands the cells placed on its what? DNA. So it demands more food, demands more energy, so it has to what? Divide. Now we kind of, okay. Now, why is cell division important? All living things are made up of what? Cells. The cell is the basic unit and structural functional unit of living thing. All cells comes from what? Pre-existing cell. That's all cells come from what? Pre-existing what? Cell. Now, what you have is, next time we continue with what? Meiosis. So, just a recap of cell cycle. Cell cycle is divided into two, which is what? And interphase and what? Mitosis. Cell phase is divided into two, which are what? Interphase and what? Mitosis, right? Now, the interphase, what happens in the interphase? Interphase is the what? Now, mitosis and interphase, which one is a longer phase? Interphase is the what? Longer phase. Remember the cell cycle. All the whole cycle is almost what? Interphase. A little of the cycle is now what? Mitosis. So interphase has three parts, which are what? G1, which is what's the name? First gap phase. S is what? GT is what? Second gap what? Phase. What happens in S phase is what? That's DNA what? Synthesis. DNA synthesis and what? Replication. Now, G1 is what? GT is what? G0 is a kind of, they want to control it. You understand? Go and rest. If you want to grow, they'll tell you, please, go and what? Rest. Let's wait. If this one becomes old, you now continue. But cancer will say what? No. We must what? Grow. We must what? Grow. Thank you very much.